Hello friends, welcome to Del Soccer. My name is Delali Frank and this is News Daily, where I serve you with all the major trending news in the last few hours. In today's edition, we're going to talk about Q-Suiting and the Black Stars. There's been multiple reports that he's going to submit 50-man squad with 5 local players in that squad. We're going to talk about the 50-man squad, whether it's good or bad, and also the possible 5 local players that may make that Black Stars provisional squad. We're also going to talk about the Champions League. The group stage of the Champions League has come to an end. We're going to throw a lot of spotlights on the Ghanaian players that's featured in the Champions League this season and their performance as well. After that, we talk about Fatawu Issahaku, who is on red hot form for Leicester City. We talk about what is working well for him and any updates that you need to know. As usual, my name is Delali Frank. If it's your first time, please hit on the subscription button and let's build this community together. In the last few days, we've seen some tremendous growth on this platform, and we are excited and we say thank you for the job and the good work you guys are helping us to do. The support you're giving us is quite incredible. If you watch this video and if you are a first-time viewer, please subscribe, stay on this platform, and let's grow together. Without wasting much time, let's get straight into today's news. So, there's been multiple reports on various platforms that Q-Suiting is set to submit 50-man squad, which will have 5 local players included. And the reports, one of the platform that I saw is Max TV, who is perhaps partners broadcasters of the Ghana Premier League. So they said that they understand that Q-Suiting is going to submit a 50-man squad to the Ghana Football Association, which will have 5 local-based players. You know, Ghana will be pitching camp very soon. The African Cup of Nations is basically a month away, so the head coach will submit his provisional squad, who I understand will go for camping. But these players, obviously, some may be out due to injury and all that, and then after that, you beat the squad down to the standard, which is around 30 or 30 man squad for the major tournaments. And others are saying that the 50-man squad is pretty much a bit too much. Or what do you think? But if you look at how Q-Suiting has been making the squad up and the consistency in how we do our things, 50 has always been what we do. I think before the World Cup, Otuado also did the same thing, called name a 50-man squad, but at the end of the day, a lot of the players didn't show up. Like basically some were injured. I think it's basically a squad that will have every player that we have seen in the Black Stars be there with some few new additions. But I even want us to talk about the local players that Q-Suiting is going to include. Who and who do you think should be in this squad? I think by extension, it's obviously going to include the 2 players from Mediama, which is Jonathan Soa, and then the left back. I think these 2 players will and may automatically be in that squad because Soa has been with the team consistently. The left back, Ghana at this point, I think Babaraman has come out from injury, so we don't really have a lot of options in our left side. So obviously he is going to be in that team. And then one player that I think may get crashed into the squad is Richmond Lamptey. And it's not because Richmond Lamptey is Maradona or he's playing like prime Michael Essien or Suleiman Muntari, but it is because the standard of the Black Stars in the last 3 call-ups, there's no way you can tell me that the kind of football Richard Lamptey is playing now, he does not fit to be in the Black Stars squad. Sometimes we often do the arguments without considering the factors involved. The Black Stars of Muntari, Richard Lamptey cannot make it. But the Black Stars of now, that we have players in the team that hasn't kicked the ball full season. You get what I mean? In as much as yes, you can argue that the Ghana Football Association or like the Ghana Premier League itself, the standard is not there. Like it's not, you can't compare the Premier League standard, the Ghana Premier League standard to that of the European League standard. That is fine. But there's no way that a player who has played 10 games in the Ghana Premier League and has been consistent, providing 8/10 performance consistently, is not as good as a player who is in Europe and doesn't even play football. You guys get me? So the Richard Lamptey argument, we'll do another video where we'll go into details and talk about it proper. But my basic argument is that based on the last 3 collabs that Chris Hughton has made, there's no way that you tell me that the football that Richard Lamptey is playing now cannot make it into that squad. Others will say he will go and sit on the bench. First of all, he has to make the squad before he can fight for a place in the team. So he needs the opportunity to be in the squad first before he can fight for a place in the team. That's what I think. But let me know what you also think. The possible 5 players that may make that squad. Let me know what you think. What do you think about the 50 squad? Is it too much? Do you think the coach should just reduce the number? Or because of the injury situation that Ghana is facing, he just have to put in a lot of players and see who shows up on that day. But some good news is that Salisu played recently. Ali Dusedu also played, was included in the team of the week, and some kind of good news. Now let's go into the Champions League and talk about the champ. So the group stage of the Champions League has come to an end, but we have some few Ghanaians that were involved. Arsenal had Thomas Partey, but Senior Man was injured throughout, so didn't really play much. But Lens had Abdul Saleh Samid, and I think Lens, their first Champions League outing, they didn't disgrace themselves. For them to win their last game against an Europa League favourite, which is Sevilla, and make it to the Europa League, that is brilliant. Salis basically featured in all the games that Lens played in the Champions League, and he managed to help his side place 3rd in their group, which is quite a good news. Like, it's quite a interesting performance for him, because these are what you expect Ghanaian players to be able to do: show up for their club side and boss it. He has been a consistent starter for his team, and his side plays 3rd in their group. The next player is Usman Bukhari. Unfortunately, Usman Bukhari, Worcester Belgrade, didn't qualify out of their group, but Usman was exceptional. He had 2 assists. The last game he played, he had an assist as well against Manchester City. He has scored against Manchester City. He has scored 2 goals and has provided 2 assists. One has come out against Manchester City, and 1 assist has also come against Manchester City. Basically, whenever he plays against Pep Guardiola's side, he really boss it, and we are happy for him. So Usman Bukhari's Worcester Belgrade unfortunately came 4th in the group that had Man City, RB Leipzig, Young Boys, and then Worcester Belgrade. They placed 4th with 6 points. Like, basically, if you look at the group and how it went, it was then kind of close group, like, a very close group with performance that be like, you get what I mean. So both of the teams played 6 matches, I should say. Manchester City had 11 points, RB Leipzig had 12 points, Red Young Boys had 4 points, and then Worcester Brigade had 1 point. They drew their first game and basically lost all their matches. But Usman Bukhari, anytime he's involved, was on red hot form. Let me go and talk about Arsenal. Arsenal, in as much as Partey was involved, they also topped their group, which they had 13 points. So they qualified in the group that had PSV, and then Lens, and then Sevilla. So Lens managed to go ahead of Sevilla, which is quite surprising and interesting, because Lens, this was their first time, but they did pretty much well. Salute to the Ghanaian and then the Ghanaian players that are involved. Let's wrap up with Fatawu Issahaku. Issahaku is on red hot form. Leicester City played recently again, and Issahaku once again showed up, and like in his last game that he's played, ever since he went to Leicester City, he has been a great footballer for them. And for me, that's what you want from him, because he has always been a great footballer. He has always showed potentials, but what he needed was the right environment and the motivation to play. And I think one thing that is helping him, that a lot of people may not pay attention to, is the fact that he has those Nigerians around him to ginger him and push him on. Wilfred Ndidi, Kenichi, these are experienced, matured players that can direct Issahaku on what to do and what not to do. And I think there was a video where Issahaku was sleeping and Ndidi was laughing him and mocking him and saying that you have moved, you come out Africa, come here, they can't sleep. That statement was just a joke, but for me, I knew it meant a lot. It was an example of what they've been doing to him and why they've been encouraging him to play more, because he's a good footballer. Obviously, Issahaku is a good footballer. So if he stays consistent and plays the football he's been playing, he's basically going to excel. The last match day, he was part of the team of the week, and this time around, he also excelled again. They won. This, as of now, Leicester City are on top of the league with 52 points, and then Ipswich has 51 points. But with the football that Leicester City are playing and the consistency they are playing, they've always been on top of the league from the beginning of the season till now. I think they may qualify and come back into the Champions League because the squad they have and the players that they still kept around, it's been exciting. Issahaku played on the right-hand side of the attack, had a rating of 7.5, played the entire 90 minutes, had one shot, total shots. If Issahaku plays a game and has only one shot attempt, that means he's improving because he was that player that hits the ball anytime he gets the chance. He made the touches of 53, blocks of 1, and had touches in the box, which is 5. Successful dribbles was 5 out of 8, which is good for the Ghanaian. He had corners 2. He was disposed of the ball 3 times, and I think Issahaku is doing well. This season, he's had a great. This season, he had 2 goals and 3 assists. I wish him the best of luck. For me, I've been fortunate to work with Issahaku before, and I know the kind of footballer he is. With the right environment, with the right people, encouraging him, telling him, pushing him on, he's obviously going to excel. So that's all for today. Let me know what you think about all these topics in the comment section. My name is Delali Funk. Until we meet again. Bye-bye for now.